Hey, what up guys? It's Dragon Ball for Life here. Today, I want to talk about the Dragon Ball characters and planet busting feats. Now, I want to talk about a couple of things. For one, I want to talk about like how many times they've been talked about, like, destroying a planet or having the ability to destroy a planet. Two, I'm going to try to find out, I'm going to be going through these planet busting statements and feats and trying to see where to place it and how it works. And three, I'm trying to see what is the lowest level of power you would need to be considered a planet buster. Well, at least strong enough to destroy a planet the size of the Earth. So I want to go through those stuff and talk about that. But before I get into that, I want to talk about the fact that I'm gonna be getting my new camera, so the quality is gonna be improving. But sadly, I'm not gonna be getting it this week. I'm probably going to be getting around the weekend, so by the time I get to use my camera for my new setup, it's going to be by next week. So you're going to have to wait for that. And when that happens, the lighting is going to be a lot better. The quality is going to be better. I know that there's sometimes problems with the audio getting choppy and sometimes laggy, and sometimes there might be a little bit of an audio delay. And sorry for that, but when I get the camera, I'm going to be mostly filming on that. The only time I'm going to be really filming by trying to connect it to my laptop would be to if I'm reacting to a video or watching something. And I also want to say that I'm thinking about making a gameplay channel. I'm thinking about making a gaming channel, but I first need to research on how to do that and a couple of stuff and do a couple of things. I do have a game in mind, but I'm not going to say it until I actually got everything up ready, because I do need the camera first and I do need a couple of things to set it up. So I will be getting a gaming channel out, though it's going to have a different name than this main channel that I have. So that's gonna be coming in a little bit later in the future, maybe in next week or in 2 weeks. I don't know when, but it will be coming soon in the future. I'll be having a gaming channel, so you can go over there and check that out too. So now let's get back into the video itself and the topic at hand. Let's talk about these planet busting feats. Now, I think out of all feats in Dragon Ball, the planet busting feat has been not only the most crystal clear feat that we've been shown and stated, but it's also the most consistent feat to be stated throughout Dragon Ball. Now, this does get a little confusing for a lot of people, because when they keep on hearing these characters are planet busters, planet buster, planet buster, because you really hear them making statements about them destroying more than just that. Only other time I heard them say beyond that was, Cell stating that he can wipe out the solar system, and then a little bit about Majin Buu. And obviously you would assume that Majin Buu can destroy way more than a planet, but usually they keep on repeating planet destroying, we can destroy a planet and stuff. And at first it is impressive, but after like the show goes on, we've seen countless other characters and even more powerful characters, it starts to become pointless. Like, I don't know why they keep on saying that these guys are planet busters. Is like, we know they're way past that. It's not even that impressive. I mean, hell, we got all the way to the Tournament of Power, and when Frieza's getting beaten by Topo, he's talking about, I have enough power to destroy a planet, and he has his hands up. I'm just like, okay, we've known this. You've been able to do this all the way back, and in the Frieza saga, we've seen your level of power. The fact that you're, like, I guess, arguing or bragging about you destroying a planet, it doesn't really mean much now. But it's one of the most consistently stated, feats. And if I'm being honest, I think they didn't need to reference it multiple times every time. But let's get through it, because I do feel like planet busting and the feat of that is very, I don't know if I can say inconsistent, but I would put it more as it's harder to pin down, and since it's been used so much, it's hard to gauge what type of power they have after that, So I want to get into all those. The first time we actually have a mention of any form of planet destroying power is when Saiyan Saga Vegeta fights against Goku. He flies up into the air, he gets ready to do his Gal Gun, and he threatens to wipe out the planet and turn it into ash. He talks about destroying the planet multiple times. They also did reference this later on when if you watch Dragon Ball Super and you're getting to the start of the Universe 6 versus 7 tournament. Goku literally states and blurts out loudly that Vegeta also tried to destroy the Earth. So it is implied heavily multiple times that he was planning to destroy the Earth. Now, this leads a lot of people to say that means that, Saiyan Saga Vegeta with a power of 18,000 alone is, strong enough to destroy a planet. And I don't know about that, because we do see countless other instances later on with characters more powerful stay to be planet busters. And it's like, if he could do that at that weak, early of a stage and that weak a level of a power, then why would it be so impressive to hear some character like Frieza, who should be way stronger than Vegeta, especially compared to him at that time? He should be way stronger than him, and we keep on hearing this too from him. So it's like, why would it be impressive that Frieza can do this? Of Vegeta's already shown to do this, or stated to be doing this, when he's weaker. So I wanted to get into that. Do I believe that Vegeta, Saiyan Saga Vegeta was a planet buster? Well, it's kind of a weird question for me. Sorry for the weird jump cut. I had something to attend to, so yeah, sorry for like what happened. But yeah, getting back to it. The question is quite more complex than a lot of people think about, was Saiyan Saga Vegeta a planet buster? Personally, do I think that Vegeta could have destroyed the Earth? Yes. But does that mean, do I think he's a planet buster? I would say no. Now, some of you guys wonder, what do I mean by he can destroy the planet, but he's not a planet buster? And before I get into that, I want to talk about why I don't think he's a planet buster. A lot of people say this proves that they were planet busters at this early, and then they say the Ginyu Force or Zarbon and Dodoria can destroy planets, and I just can't believe that they would be that powerful, especially compared to how impressed they were that Frieza could do it. The fact that characters that are that much weaker, it doesn't make much sense. Also, due to the fact that when Goku was fighting against Frieza, he fired a regular energy blast into the center of Namek, and it didn't destroy it. Now, yes, he did say he was holding back too much, but let's be honest. Even a heavily suppressed final form Frieza firing an energy attack should have more destructive power than a full-powered Saiyan Saga Vegeta. Let's be honest. Are you telling me that Vegeta's Gal Gun would have more power than Frieza's energy blast that he threw in the core of Namek? And I know a lot of people say Namek is probably smaller, or whatever, but Namek is actually the same. Namek is the same size as the Earth, because it does have the same gravitational force. So it would have to be roughly the same size and mass. It can't be that much smaller or that much bigger. So I do think it is the size of the Earth. So this is a good comparison to make of Frieza couldn't destroy a planet like that, even if he was holding back. Then why the hell would Vegeta, who's far weaker, be able to destroy a planet with more power? So that's what I mean by that. Now let's talk about the fact that I do believe he could destroy a planet, but he's not a planet buster. Technically, you can destroy a planet without having to be a planet buster. For example, once again, what Frieza did. When Frieza destroyed Namek, he didn't, that wasn't showing him as a planet busting feat. It was just showing him destroying the planet. Now, obviously, he is a planet buster, especially due to the fact that he destroyed the Saiyans, Planet Vegeta, when he was far weaker, and Planet Vegeta has 10 times Earth's gravity. So he could obviously destroy way more than that easily, but that instance itself was not showing that he was a planet buster. It was just showing that he can destroy a planet. And that's how I feel about Vegeta's situation. I think at this point he's far too weak to be destroying a planet. I know a lot of people say, well, these characters were able to destroy the moon all the way back in Dragon Ball and stuff, but if you actually look at the calculations and the amount of power it takes to destroy the moon compared to the Earth, the moon at most it'll be at a couple of hundreds of million tons of TNT to destroy the moon, whereas the Earth, it takes at least 53 quadrillion megatons of TNT to destroy the Earth. And I saw somewhere, I forgot where, but it stated that the amount of power it takes to destroy the Earth compared to the moon is 1,800 times more. So meaning, if let's say somebody can destroy our moon, that would mean that there'll be 1/1800 times they can destroy the Earth. So basically it means that if we want to argue that this character that destroyed the moon could destroy the Earth, they would have to get at least 1,800 times stronger to be able to do something like that, because the amount of difference of power it takes to destroy the moon to the Earth is far, far different, and that's due to the gravitational binding force of the Earth itself. But yeah, destroying the Earth compared to the moon is far different. So even with that argument and comparison saying they were able to destroy the moon early on, yeah, well, they would still need quite a considerable amount of like a power boost to destroy the Earth. And I know they don't go too much by math and statistics, obviously. If they did, it would have been a little too much. But just going based off that, I'm just trying to say that destroying, just because somebody can destroy the moon, even if it's early on, doesn't mean that that'll give them mean that they'll destroy the be able to destroy the planet later on. Also, with Vegeta's instance, what I think happened was, here's a couple of things. One, the planet was going to be destroyed, because if it wasn't, Goku wouldn't have taken it so seriously, because when Vegeta said it, he stated, you can't dodge this or the Earth is gone. And if he obviously didn't believe it, because he can sense Vegeta's energy. People say Vegeta was bluffing. If he was truly bluffing, Goku would have sensed his energy and said, yeah, you're lying. You can't destroy the planet, this or that. And also, it's like, if he couldn't, and you know, Goku, he does have energy, he can sense his energy, so he should have been known how strong he is. If he knew he wasn't that strong, then why would he jump in and fire Kamehameha and, you know, be in this whole key clash with him? And on top of that, max out his body, use Kaioken times 3 and 4, do something this reckless and dangerous to stop this attack. If it wasn't going to be that big of a you know, threat or danger, it just feels pointless. So I do think that there was the serious threat that the planet was going to be destroyed. That's why Goku went to these extreme measures to prevent it. And I highly doubt that Vegeta is so cocky to the point where he's going to make up a statement that he can destroy the planet. Like, that's just dumb. That makes no sense. When he gets cocky, he usually gets arrogant in his own beliefs, saying, I'm the best, I'm unstoppable, I'm a Super Saiyan or whatever. It's never about, I can do this crazy feat or I can do that crazy feat, but I really can't. And the reason I want to get into what I think he does do, what he would do to destroy the planet. Personally, I think he would have done what Frieza did and destroy the core of the planet and then let the planet get destroyed on his own. So what he basically meant is, and what I saw in my head was, when he fires the Gal Gun, if Goku either dodges it or fails to, you know, stop it, it would either go hit the Earth or go through Goku, hit the Earth, go through the crust and all the layers of the Earth, hit the inner core, and then overpowered it and disintegrated it until the planet itself was destabilized, and then it blown up and destroyed it. That's what I felt like what he meant by destroying the planet. Because technically he would be destroying the planet, but he also wouldn't be a planet buster, because to destroy the core of the planet does take a lot of power, but it doesn't take as much power as destroying the planet as a whole. So technically you can destroy a planet without having to be a planet buster. It just means that you would require still a decent amount of power, but just not enough. So I think that's what he was doing. And the reason why I think this is, Vegeta said he wanted to watch them die, but if, let's say, he did destroy the planet, Vegeta would have either died in the blast or died in space, because we know the Saiyans can't, you know, survive in outer space. So what I was assuming from it was, if he failed, it would have gone through the layers, hit the core would have been done for, then the planet would have been dying and it exploded. And just like how Namek was getting destroyed, it would have took some time before it happened. So he would have had at least like 5 minutes to do something. Vegeta would have been able to at least hit Goku a couple of times, fly to his ship, and then fly off to a safe enough distance where, you know, Goku and the rest of the gang can't leave and nobody can escape, and then the planet blows up and he watches from afar, you know, just mocking them. I think that's what he was planning to do, because let's be honest, the space pods also wouldn't be able to survive a planet level, like a planet destroying. I mean, at most they can survive like big, you know, create huge craters and not get destroyed, but I don't think they can survive a whole planet destroying. So it would make more sense that Vegeta is like, you know what, I'm going to destroy this planet, but I also need some time to escape, because I can't survive if it does go off. So by destroying the core, not only does he doesn't need to be a planet buster, he doesn't need extreme amount of power, he can also destroy the planet, but also give himself enough time to get away and, you know, watch it from a safe distance and see him, Goku and the rest of the humans die in despair. So Vegeta, I do think that he was planning on destroying the planet, but more like Frieza than, you know, just being a planet buster. So no, I don't think that proves that he's a planet buster. After that, they don't really show anything else with any of the other characters until Vegeta fights Dodoria, and Dodoria reveals that Frieza destroyed, you know, Planet Vegeta. And Planet Vegeta, like I said, has 10 times Earth's gravity. So destroying Planet Vegeta is way more impressive than destroying the Earth. I don't know how much. I could probably make a video about that, but I'll have to do quite a bit of research. But the amount of power to destroy the higher the gravity of a planet is, the harder it is to destroy that planet. So the way we calculate the destruction of a planet is through the energy surpassing the gravitational binding force of that planet. So the higher the gravity is, the harder it is to destroy. And there's some variables to it, because the more gravity, the planet would have to be bigger or more dense. Now, if it's Earth size and it has 10 times Earth's gravity, it can't be plausible, because the amount of density that the materials need to be on the planet would mean that the majority of the planet will be made out of like plutonium or uranium, these very heavy elements that are very toxic and radioactive. It's very implausible that it will be the Earth size with the Earth's gravity. So it'd either be ridiculously bigger than the Earth or have a decent amount of density compared to the Earth with the size additionally on it. So I think that's where it comes with that. But yeah, he states that this happens at this time. We don't know how he destroys it, but then we do see, in the Bardock father of Goku special, and we also see in the Broly movie, we saw this a little bit they show a little bit of a panel in the manga. It's safe to assume that even before the Broly movie showing it being, I guess you could say, canon, Frieza destroyed it in his first form casually with one finger, just like nothing. He destroyed it casually. So that would mean that if he can destroy casually in his base, then that would mean that with his other forms multiplying on it, and his power increase with I guess you could say with a percentage, he will be ridiculously more powerful. But personally, I do think the reason he was able to destroy Planet Vegeta so easily is because due to his technique. It's not like he used the Death Ball or like on Namek where he used just a regular energy attack. He used this supernova attack, which is, I think it's a class of a higher power of attack. And you see this with other attacks. Like if you compare the Kamehameha to the Tri-Beam Cannon, you will realize that the Tri-Beam Cannon is naturally more powerful. We've seen it with, Tien using against Cell. And it was even stated by Master Roshi in Dragon Ball. He's saying the Kamehameha is dog piss compared to, the Tri-Beam Cannon. So depending on specific attacks or techniques a character would use, the different amount of power it would have. So I do think that the supernova has way more power than the Death Ball. I think the Death Ball and those other energy attacks is just the maximum output of Frieza in whatever form he's at or whatever percentage of power he has, whereas the supernova is a power that exceeds that. I don't know to what extent, but I do think it does exceed it, because let's be honest, even once again, a heavily suppressed Frieza in his final form would have way more power than a fully powered first form Frieza. And it's not like Frieza was using his full power to destroy Planet Vegeta. He did it casually, so it doesn't really compute there. But yeah, there's a ton of instances like that. But the one time I think genuinely where we told by somebody that somebody can have a planet busting feat was definitely first form Frieza. First form Frieza was the first person to be stated to have it. So if you ask me what is the weakest level of power, who's the weakest person who's shown to be a planet buster, I'll definitely say first form Frieza, because he destroyed Planet Vegeta, which is, like I said, it's way more impressive to destroy Planet Vegeta than it is Earth, because it has 10 times Earth's gravity. So that was the most crazy one. The other one with the Vegeta one with Saiyan Saga, you can argue that, it wasn't literally him being a planet buster. It was just him, destroying the core, thus destroying the planet itself. Then after that, once again, we don't really have much of a reference of planet busting feats until Frieza arrives, and then we have the fight between Frieza and Vegeta's fighting as found form Frieza. He thinks he's Super Saiyan, but Frieza's beating the crap out of him. Vegeta gets pissed. He goes up into the sky and charges up an attack. He fires it at Frieza, and Piccolo literally screams out, "What are you doing, Vegeta? You're gonna destroy the planet." So once again, we have another planet busting feat confirmed. And though Vegeta got considerably stronger in this point, he wasn't so ridiculously OP to the point where you could argue that, he wasn't even on Final Form Frieza's level. He was playing around them. But yeah, so an enraged Vegeta at that time had planet busting power, because Piccolo stated, and we see when Frieza jumps in and kicks it in the air, They showed better in the anime, but in the manga panel also, you see a giant explosion and it creates such a big shadow that it engulfs the entire planet. And when you see the explosion, it goes into deep space, but the explosion is so big it reaches down to like the atmosphere of planet Namek itself. So it shows this explosion is huge. I would say that it's arguably 2 times the size of the planet, meaning I would consider it 2 times planet busting feat. Once again, I don't think Final Form Frieza is just planet level. I think he's way beyond planet level, seeing as how even if a First Form Frieza used Supernova, I do think Frieza in general is easily planet buster without even trying. And Vegeta 100% proves that Final Form Frieza was heavily suppressed and holding back, and if he did unleash out of full power, he could probably even destroy the star. Because Vegeta, his attack right there, he was far weaker than him, and his attack was like arguably like 2 times. It could have destroyed the planet over 2 times. So we see there. And then when Goku fights against Frieza, we hear multiple times about planet destroying. We hear when Frieza does this one slash attack and he hits the ground, he cuts the planet in half, and he stated he can destroy the planet. He stated to destroy the planet multiple times. And then, you know, when he's about to like, he obviously does the move, he holds back, and then we have another instance when the planet is getting destroyed. Frieza's like, damn it, man, I need to end this quick or I'll get caught up in the blast, and if I do, I'm going to lose a bit of my energy, proving that he could also tank the planet. If the planet blew up, he would have been able to tank it. The only problem is he would have lost a bit of his energy. He wasn't worried the fact that it would severely hurt him or he would die from it or anything like that. He was just saying that he would lose a bit of energy. And as we know, the Dragon Ball characters have a higher attack output than damage that they can take. So that means if he can tank a planet destroying, and it barely does any damage to him, that means he has even more power that he can expand to destroy a planet. So that also proves that he's beyond planet busting if he can tank that. And the only reason Goku died, once again, no atmosphere. It's not that the planet's explosion would have killed him. So Frieza could tank, a planet getting destroyed, and it only does a bit of damage to him. And then we see later on when they're fighting, Goku goes Super Saiyan, and he lets him blast him in the face, and Goku even states, you can destroy a whole planet, but you can't destroy one man, me. But once again, alluding to the fact that Frieza's a planet buster and that Goku's beyond a planet buster, that just because you can destroy a planet doesn't mean anything to him. And then we get to, towards the ending. And this is, I think, the craziest where we see, the planet busting feat is when Goku's fighting against Frieza. Frieza gets cut in half. And obviously, at this point, he's like depowered, and Goku gives him his power and he gets revived. So you can argue that he does get some power back, but let's be honest. At this point, he was beaten down. His power was draining heavily to the point where Goku didn't see him as a challenge. He was cut in half and lost a ton of his power. Yes, Goku did give him some energy to survive, but he did use a lot of it firing back an attack and then getting hit by an attack countered. So he used up most of that energy that Goku gave him and then got hit by a Kamehameha, hit by his own attack too, and then got obliterated and then fell into the center of the planet. It blew up and he still survived. This guy took tons of damage, tons of beating from a Super Saiyan Goku, took it from a Spirit Bomb. He got cut in half. He did get some energy back, but he did use quite a bit of it in an attack and got hit by a Kamehameha, got half of his face blown off, got shot into the center of the earth, took the explosion and still survived, showing that his durability is way above planet level, at least multiple times planet level, or at least large planet level, meaning that if he's durable enough to tank that, then his attack potency would be even higher than that, putting him at beyond planet level. That's why I put him at star level. I think Frieza is definitely a star level being. That's what I would cap him off as a star level being. And the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of people state that some people state that the Dragon Ball characters haven't been planet buster until Buu, because Buu actually destroyed a planet easily like that. But I think that's stupid and BS, and I think that's high levels of downplaying these characters' powers. I would say that these characters have shown planet busting feats in the early on stages of the Frieza saga, and throughout the progression of the Frieza saga, we see them not only just being planet buster, but large planet level and even star level. And I think Frieza's max is star level, because if they were only planet level, him going through all that and tanking that, he wouldn't be just planet level. He would be beyond that. So to just cap that off is just ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous enough that people are saying that no, they're not planet busters at this point, and trying to argue later on, like in Cell Saga or especially the Buu Saga. But even saying that they're just planet busters at this point is ridiculous. At this point, they are star level. They started off at maybe planet level, but then they went up in the scale crazy all the way to star level. That's what I truly believe the level of power progression went to. And then later on, we do hear them saying countless times that since their power is so destructive, they keep on saying that they could destroy the planet. Vegeta fires an attack. He says, I have to hold back or I'll destroy the planet. We see when he does a Final Flash against Cell, and Trunks is like, no, you're gonna destroy the planet, father. So then he minimizes it and he goes off into the distance. If he didn't, it would have destroyed the planet. We see this when Goku's fighting against Cell, and they're so worried about not hitting the ground or getting too close to the ground. So Goku has to go in the air. They have to like direct their energy attacks into space so it doesn't destroy the planet. And they stated countless times, but then they also Cell states he's a solar system buster. The only difference is Cell states that one time, though it has been shown that he has been a solar system level, but it's never stated again, because later on we get to Busai saying he destroyed hundreds of planets. Obviously he can do more than that. And then we've seen him destroy the Earth, which once again, that feat where people saying he's the first, no, he's not. He's the first that has been shown directly just being a planet buster, but that does not mean he's the first planet buster. We have multiple evidence that he isn't. The first planet busting feat or a statement we see is all the way back in earlier Frieza Saga, and then they get to star level by the end of it. And Buu should be way past that. Whether you're saying he's galaxy level or multi-solar system level, whatever, at least he should be around those ranges. He should not be planet level. I mean, a basic ki blast from Kid Buu at that point was planet level. When he fired it, Vegeta and Goku were terrified, and Vegeta had deflected so it wouldn't destroy the Earth. And he even said, what the hell's wrong with you? You're trying to destroy the planet? That whole, the big energy attack, that was just overkill. He didn't need to do that. That was just him overdoing it. So Kid Buu is way beyond just planet level. It's just that, he doesn't care, and he specifically targets planets with life on it. So he doesn't need to destroy, whole solar systems or whole, sectors of galaxies. He just needs to destroy planets that have life on it. But yeah, there's multiple instances throughout the series where they mention planet destroying a planet. And I just think that after a while, after the Frieza saga, I think it was fine actually in the Cell saga, because it was just showing that their power is so ridiculous that if they don't control it or they don't keep an eye on it all the times, they could destroy the Earth. Good thing in the Buu saga that they got enough control that it didn't really matter about what they did anymore, because they could minimize the damage blast radius of their energy attacks. They got a good grasp of it. But I do think that they overused the statement that they can destroy a planet. It's like, yeah, it was impressive, I guess, in the Frieza saga and stuff, but once we get to the Cell saga and the Buu saga, especially the Buu saga, saying planet busting doesn't really mean anything. And it's so stupid that they put that in the tournament of power. Frieza saying I can destroy a planet. Like, dude, we're at this point where these guys are destroying universes and beyond that, and then the universes are getting erased, and you're talking about destroying a planet. That's not even the same. That doesn't even equate. Just stop right now. That's just a ridiculous comparison to make. So yeah, there's a ton of instances. So once again, the Vegeta one, I do think he would have destroyed the planet because Goku took it seriously, but I don't think he's a planet buster. I think he would just destroy the core and watch that from far. The weakest, I would say, person we've seen that is shown to be a planet buster and even beyond that was first form Frieza, and it was stated to be him. And I would say another character that was early on was Vegeta when he was fighting against Frieza, because even a fully enraged Vegeta at that time wouldn't be that powerful, but he was shown to have a power that can destroy the Earth over 2 times, And then I would say that Frieza's durability is large planet level or large planet level, and his attack potency would be definitely star level, whether it's small star or medium star level. I wouldn't say large, but definitely small to medium star level of destructive power. So that's where I put him around. The Cell saga, it was more that it was hard for them to control it. They were more powerful than that. It was just that was more stated. And Cell, I do think, is soul system level. And then the Buu saga, people saying that him destroying it, just because he showed that doesn't mean that was that was the first plan busting character. They were plan busters way before that, and Kid Buu could easily destroy the planet with a basic ki blast. At that point, they were that ridiculously powerful that they can destroy whole planets with basic ki blast. Imagine full-on energy attacks; they can destroy way more. So, yeah, that's where I'll cap it off. These guys were definitely planet busters, and Frieza Saga. If anybody else says anything otherwise, they're just trying to downplay Dragon Ball. They do it all the time. Just ignore them. It doesn't matter, because in the end of the day, when you look at this, you can see these guys are easily plan buster. Just because they stated a lot doesn't mean that that's where they cap off. They're way beyond that. It's like and before I close out fully, because this video is getting a little long, it's like you know, the Flash and like the other speedsters, they keep on getting stated that they can move fast in speed of light. Now it's like, well, these characters are way faster than speed of light. We've seen them, how ridiculously faster they are, and we've stated multiple times. But they stated not because, you know, not to say that that's the max that they have. It's just that it's an impressive sounding feat. So sometimes they really like to restate it over and over again. So with that being said and done, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you were, you know, you got some valuable information from this video. And once again, I hope you guys enjoy. So have a good day.